There was a Wall Street Journal article this morning talking about the role of individual traders on helping kind of drive up this recent run up in cryptocurrencies. What do you make of that? Is that a bullish sign for the crypto market as a whole?
I think these past couple of weeks, Leslie, proven that crypto's here to stay, and it's very possible that a lot of these individual traders are getting into the action with the promise of more regulatory clarity as the days and weeks ahead. So, definitely a very bullish sign.
There was also, though, a CFTC report last week showing that institutional investors, leveraged traders, leveraged funds were net bearish on cryptocurrency, on Bitcoin specifically, the futures there. Does that concern you that, we may see kind of a divergence in the type of investor that's really playing crypto right now, that you've got these individual traders that do tend to be a little bit more, momentum driven, kind of piling in, while institutional investors who could be a little bit stickier are sitting this one out and betting against this space? Does that indicate more volatility and potential risk associated with this area?
I mean, as you know, this has been primarily rallies in a market dominated by retail investors so far, mainly because of a lot of the uncertainty and the regulatory unclarity, if you will, that we still have for institutional investors. Institutional investors need more scalability, more certainty, and clearly we're all working with our regulators and as a State Street to build these infrastructures to be able to support that. So there is definitely a divergence right now between retail and institutional, but that is mainly due to the nature of the environment we're operating in. As we get more, Chairman Gensler and others have promised more regulatory clarity in the weeks ahead, and I think that would definitely be a boom for crypto trading as we move forward.
Nadine, I wonder within crypto whether or not Bitcoin is losing share, or whether or not this rally is sort of solidifying support. I mean, relative to other types of coins right now.
I mean, Carl, as you know, it did hit 48,000 briefly today before it dropped a little bit more. And that is, I think that is probably the highest level it's been since maybe May, early May. So I don't know if it's losing share or not, but I think especially now as the London fork occurred with Ethereum, we're seeing more usage for these various coins. But Bitcoin is a breed by itself. It's carrying its weight moving forward. So it's hard to tell at this point.
Yeah, I wonder. Last week with the infrastructure bill and the amendments, I mean, it was remarkable to see the crypto community sort of be so vocal about policy, and it was a real signal of their lobbying prowess at this point. But I wonder where your head is right now regarding those amendments and the degree to which there is policy risk remaining, either in this bill or in bills to come.
I mean, it was phenomenal to see something so decentralized, being very quickly represented by the industry, and a lot of big names rallied behind it. And Carl, I think it's important to note that I don't think, by everything that I've read, nobody's saying that crypto shouldn't be regulated, shouldn't be taxed. I think it was more the murkiness of the language. Unfortunately, the amendments didn't pass, but not all is lost, I don't think. I think there was a lot of good news on a lot of fronts. One, to your point, we saw the power of social media and the importance of the community rallying around it, looking for clarity. I think while the battle was lost, the war is certainly within reach. And it's a long way to go. There's 2 years to implementation. A lot of things could happen. So I think it was good because I think it raised the profile of crypto within our with our regulators, with our representatives, and honestly all across America and the world. So knowledge is power, and those were it was an incredible achievement for those efforts. So hopefully we'll get more clarity, and I think reasonable people do reasonable things, and I am confident that it will get amended and be workable for all parties.
Well, speaking of regulation, we're still waiting that SEC green light for a Bitcoin ETF. Several applications are pending on that front. I read that State Street is interested in doing more kind of the technological underpinnings behind these types of ETFs. But what are your latest expectations as it pertains to an ETF that tracks various areas of the crypto world?
I mean, Leslie, Mr. Gensler has been very clear. He's agnostic to the technology, but very committed to investor protection, and so are we. We have a lot of clients. We've helped two of our clients, Venek and Wisdom Tree. So we have applications in front of the SEC right now, waiting for the green light. I am hopeful before the end of this year that we will see a Bitcoin ETF approved. I think they would like to see it more using futures to get exposure rather than the coins themselves. I think that's fine. Every little step helps here, but it is really important to get this right. This is a very young industry. It's taken us a long time to get, the 40 Act and all the other provisions and investor protections right. So if we take a little bit longer to get the right tools and the right mechanism and framework in place, then that's a small price to pay for something that could be enormous in the years to come.
Yeah, well, 4.5 months left in this year. So if your projection is right, that seems like it's not too far away.
Let's hope so. Fingers crossed.